Here is my main idea file, and I have my label, and then I also have a label up here. And here is my standard breakdown. Like, I'm sorry, but is that not the prettiest thing ever to look at? Everything that goes together is together. I'm so glad I found that. Like I said before, go through your files. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I'm a 3rd grade teacher in North Carolina. This is a weird location for me. It took me a second to like figure out the lighting and the background of my couch. But hi, today we are going through my files. Or, oh, should I say tonight, because it's 9:23. I have 2 boxes here full of my reading and math files and some beginning of the year files, because I decided to bring all of those home to prep for back to school. Because if you have not seen my previous videos, I'm not allowed in my classroom until August 16th. I did not finish filing all of my master copies this year. I also get into a bad habit of filing multiple master copies. I need to write, well, even if I wrote master and highlighter on it, I might not know if I have that one or if it's someone else's, because we copy for the whole grade level. So anyway, I have to go through my files tonight. I thought this is something I can do while I'm not in the classroom, which is the goal of the rest of my summer right now. What I'm planning to do, first of all, I have some extra file folders just in case I need them. I shouldn't, because I just recently redid all my files. There's a couple fun things I want to add to them as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I do want to get a file together of like the copies that we will need the first few weeks of school. This year, again, I am planning all of ELA, so I already know what I'm going to need. Our plans are pretty similar year to year, especially at the beginning, because we're doing like the first 20 days, our introduction lessons, the bare minimum basics that are pretty standard, and they're good. So yes, I'm gonna make like a first week or first 3, I don't know, whatever copies I need folder. So I'll put these to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of make piles of this stuff by standard, and then I'll show you what I'm working with. Okay, the very first thing I did here was sort into subjects. So I have math, beginning of the year or just general items, reading, things that need to go into a binder that don't belong in my files, a random answer key, and then I have science over here. I actually had a lot more like old stuff from my kids last year that I no longer need. I feel like there's another pile somewhere in here though of stuff I need to sort as well, so I'm going to continue looking. Okay, so change of location, because I needed space to spread out. I did finally clean my office, so yay to me. Cleaned my little extra bathroom over there. Since Puppy's gonna be here soon, we have to be ready. Anyway, this will have to be gone. But guys, I'm obsessed. Okay, so the files I went through first were my reading ones, or the reading stack of masters that hadn't been filed. So it was really just standards from the end of the year. Main idea, text structure, compare and contrast, central message, context clues. Okay, these pages, oh my goodness. I will link this resource down below, but this is what I'm adding to my files. I'm going to staple this on the inside cover, and this is going to be so helpful because of the matriculation reference. Like, I love this, and it's just so much information about the standard. So I have that for each of them, and it also helped me put my pages in the correct standard. now that that's organized, I'm going to put my reading files in my crate. So, well, no, actually I'll probably take one out one at a time because I'm going to go through the entire file and make sure I don't have extras of the same copy and try to put it in the best order that I can. All right, so let me show you what my file looked like first. I made these a few years ago on a shipping label and cut them out. A lot of them have peeled off. I think I have this TPT template. I think I have this template on TPT. So I'll link it down below, but I just taped the basic standard on the front. And so I was just checking to make sure that it matched. And now I'm going to go through all of the resources here. This is one of our tests from SchoolNet, and put it in order and make sure there's no duplicates, of course. Oh, and look at this super cute little apple. I was originally going to use it for my jewelry. I got it in a teacher's crate box, but I'm like, wait, that is so cute to put paper clips in. Love it. Okay, two things I want to say. I got through all of my fiction and now I'm working on nonfiction. If you want to clear your brain, like feel amazing, organize your files and throw away all the extras. Oh my gosh, this is like, I can't explain my pure joy that comes from doing this and the way it clears my brain. Secondly, if you are not a file person and you're completely online, or completely in binders, I don't understand. I love files. First of all, paper copies all the way. There are a few things that are, like, we have our online resources online, but like I still keep it in my file. That way I could see it and don't have to go searching for it when I'm working on that standard, you know? Let me show you something. Obviously this is the hanging file folder, but here is my main idea file. And I have my label, and then I also have a label up here. And here is my standard breakdown. I also have these papers. These came from iReady. I printed them out for like each topic. This just goes through, and basically I have anchor charts to outlines in the beginning, graphic organizers, and then it basically goes in the order of our plans, the way we teach things. I have some task cards in here. Most of my task cards are in my photo cases, but anyway. Oh, these are backwards. I love having all my paper clips on one side. Like, I'm sorry, but is that not the prettiest thing ever to look at? Everything that goes together is together. Oh, and having this in a file folder instead of online, if I ever change schools or districts, I don't have to worry about my account being deleted and losing everything and having to transfer everything. Like, I have it. I should probably also mention that we do not have reading textbooks or math ones, really. We used to have math workbooks, but those were just supplemental and we don't get them anymore, and I'm glad because I don't need them. Anyway, we don't really have a ELA curriculum that we follow like other schools are like, oh, we do wonders, or we do this, we do that. Nope, we have to incorporate Letterland every day, but that's not a full-on reading comprehension curriculum. We're doing letters training, but again, that's more like phonemic awareness based. So our resources come from all over. And so it's not like everything is just in one book, you know? So I guess my files are kind of like my teacher guide. And just like that, my reading files are complete. I am so excited. I used to store them. Obviously, this is just for transporting them. They go in my filing cabinet at school. But I used to store them all fiction and then all nonfiction. However, we teach the standard simultaneously. So like If we do RL3, which is character traits, then after that we would do RI3, which is cause and effect. So I put them in that order instead. Some of them have the same little title on the thing, but that's fine. And then like point of view, like I could have literally had one point of view folder, but it's fine. I also have them all in separate hanging files, so I don't know. But basically how I showed you, like the way one looks is the way all of them really look. I obviously just have bigger standards than others. I did have to make a Target run at 9 p.m. to go get some more double-sided tape because that's how I was fixing my labels and putting those special pages in the front cover. And for some reason they didn't have Scotch tape. They were sold out of so much. I'm really happy I have reading done because we are starting to plan this Monday. We are not allowed into the school until our first work day, as I've said a million times, and we're literally going to have no time. We're going to need all our work days to get our rooms ready, and we don't want to have to think about planning once we're at school. So we're going to try to get at least 3 weeks planned. We might get more than that. I'm so organized. I feel like we can like pull it out. But anyway, this bucket, for some reason, I had some math files in it too. I guess all my reading files weren't in here, so now they are. So this bucket is now just reading. I have the rest of the math files that were in here I just pulled out. I will handle that tomorrow. I do need to make a file for Charlotte's Web, so I will do that, but I'm not too worried about that right now because that's way end of the year. These things I'm going to put in like a guided reading folder. I kept this little note for planning, and all of my reading files are now out of here. This is what I use throughout the year when, like, for the current files that we're working on. And actually there's a smaller like file box that's like this big that I would love to get for like our current files, because this takes up so much space and I don't use all those anymore. This was when we were planning way ahead and I had 3 weeks of plans to keep. This is like stuff I want to kind of look through, and then this is test prep for the end of the year, and extra copies trash. So got to sort through that stuff, but I am so like you can't like understand the feeling of relief, joy, like so much pressure. Like this is the greatest thing ever. So now I'm gonna treat myself to some Ben and Jerry's. It's been 2 days since I finished reading, and now I'm ready to take on math. So this is the pile, or this is the stack of the things that I didn't file at the end of the year. So the first thing I'm going to do is sort this by standard. Then I'll pull out each file folder and place it in the correct spot. So this was actually super easy because math, it's like the topic, you know? I don't have to think about what kind of questions are these reading passages asking, you know? But I do have multiple files for each standard. Like fractions has multiple standards, and I have a different file for every standard. So as I go through this stuff, I'm going to have to sort the smaller piles into more piles. But also, I didn't really have to save a lot this year because I didn't plan math, so I already had most of these copies and didn't have to pull them out of my files. I only saved like new things that my coworkers gave me, or just like things that I wasn't sure if I had. So I feel like I'm gonna end up throwing a lot of this away because I might already have it. I wanted to give you a look at one of my math files. So same label as my reading ones, but my math ones break down the standard. So like all of this is multiplication, but like it's the different pieces of it. This one is like the models of multiplication. So equal groups and arrays and repeated addition. And I love, love, love how this is sorted. Like look how perfect. I have my example and then a master copy, and everything is paper clipped. Since I didn't plan math last year, this is going to be so easy for me to go through. But like one of the things I'm going to check is that I have all the array pages together, all the equal group pages together, all repeated addition. So I'm going to group the different strategies. Like I even have the ones that go through all of them grouped together. So all of these pages do all 3 strategies or more than one. Oh my goodness, I love me. So last year I couldn't find my clock numbers. I found them. This is my wrap poster. I guess this is where I put things that were supposed to be on my wall. At least these are the laminated ones, because the ones I used last year weren't laminated, and these are also already sprayed with matte spray paint. So I could put these ones back up next year. Perfect. Okay. See, this is why we go through our files, people. This is my unknown numbers file, and I have things that go around my room. Something I wanted to point out about why one reason I like files, also another reason I like separating them, is because this one is picture and bar graphs and this one is graph word problems. So basically I just sorted through both of these. I have some magic of math in here, but this file is all of my resources about making the graphs and interpreting them, kind of just the precursor to actually word problems. So since my files are broken up like this, it's really helpful when it comes to planning, because I don't have to separate the skill in my mind or in the process of planning. I've already done it for myself, which makes it a whole lot easier. So I've decided to make an area and perimeter file folder because we teach area, we teach perimeter, and then we need to show them together because the kids have to figure out which is which. And so majority of our resources are both, and I don't want to put this just in area because we haven't taught perimeter yet, and I don't want to fill the perimeter file with all of this. So I'm making a separate file. I am, however, going to find, like, there's a specific sheet like this one that would be great for the introduction of perimeter, because we can talk about all the things that we've learned about area, and then we'll say, well, these other things are a type of measurement as well. There's another sheet somewhere. I have so many worksheets. And some of these are projects, I swear. These are great resources. I don't know where it is, but there's another sheet that relates area and perimeter, and that's a great way to start it as well. So I'll probably move those to the perimeter file because those need to be addressed first. Holy cow, my files are done. In here, I have majority of my math, but my math is a lot. So the rest of it is higher there in the back because I wanted to squeeze them all in. So those are all of my math and all of my reading files. All have been sorted through, and holy cow. Now I'm going to go through these beginning of the year files. I brought them home to help me out, get some things prepped. I love this. So I found this book bingo file when I was pulling all my other ones out, and I just brought it home because I thought it would just have the masters. But turns out I saved all of my bingo cards from the year I put these up and then didn't end up using them. Smart move, Brianna. I love you. Oh my gosh. This is something more fun than a traditional reading log. So my plan with this is after the kids, by the way, this is in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, so I'll leave it down below. After the kids read a book, they will sign up to meet with a parent volunteer, and this will be like one day a week. I'll have this parent come in, and during a certain time in the day, they'll call the kids out in the hallway. The kid will bring their book, and the parent will have like general questions to ask them about it. And after the parent asks them the questions, to make sure they've read it, which hopefully isn't intimidating enough to the kids, because I've mentioned before, I did this when I was in 4th grade, and I thought the parent volunteer who asked us questions would like so totally know if we didn't read the book. So they will give the child a sticker, and the child will get to put that sticker on whatever genre the book was. And this will not only motivate them to read different genres, but it will also like expose them to those different things, help them understand the differences between them. It's a good way to keep track of their reading, and when they get a bingo, they'll get to pick a coupon, like your general play with a friend from a different class at recess. If we all have the same recess this year, who knows? Sit with a friend from another class at lunch, write with a pen for the day, teacher chair, you know, all the basics that don't cost any money. Which I think I also have my coupons in my Teachers Pay Teacher store as well, so I will link that down below. I have a couple sizes, I think. So this is 2 to a page. I have a full sheet or I have half sheets, and these are much easier to find a spot for in the classroom. It doesn't have to be huge. I'm so glad I found that. Like I said before, go through your files. Look what I just found. These are from the Target Dollar Spot years ago, and there's over 20 in here, and I can only have 18 students. So perfect. I could now make my gift tags, and I already have this made, so I can just even print them out. This is my Meet the Teacher file, which I also found a ton of my first week copies and just important things here, so I love myself. These are my students' name tags, but I don't actually make them until like after the first week of school, where I see like all their attendance and my actual roster so that I can put their numbers on it. But I did make these. There are similar ones out there. I just kind of made one to not only fit my classroom, but also be more fitting for 3rd grade. And this goes right on top of their pencil box. So love that. I have all my examples of my flip book. Ugh. Hate this one, because this one you use 2 papers and you put them side by side and you chop them at the same time and it just fits. This one you have to like cut each rectangle out. It's not worth it, not worth it. I have a ton of magnets with my website on it that I could still use. This is amazing. Guys, I even have one of my flip books from when I taught 4th grade. Goodness, how sweet. Anything like my science and social studies or test prep, something that goes in binders at school, things that I don't have at home that need to be filed at school, I have in the back here. I have a bunch of beginning of the year prep, all my Meet the Teacher things in the front here. I did go ahead and make all my donut labels like I've already posted on here. They are on my Instagram, and I've tagged the seller if you want to check them out. But all of that is prepped and ready to go. I have my supply list that I made in my last video. I have my Meet the Teacher letter, so that feels good. I have stuff that I want to make a guided reading file out of and a math small group file, so I'll just keep those here. That's fine. So you'll notice I didn't have a standard sheet in my math files. That's because I couldn't find one and I wasn't about to make one right now. I just went ahead and printed the vertical progression for the math standards, and I printed it 2 to a page. Since I'm not planning math anyway, I thought this would be handy to have all together. So I'm just going to staple this together, keep it in my planner. That way when I am planning, I could just reference it, and it's super tiny, so I thought that was helpful. I was going to show my face to end the video, but it's not looking so good. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss my next video, and follow me on Instagram if you're not doing so already. Check my description for all of the links for today's video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.